Hey everyone, say hi.
I don't know.
No, not, no. Okay, I have to take my glasses. I said say hi. Hi. Andreas.
Hi.
Oh my god. We're getting the camera.
Yeah,
Hey.
we're going to Universal.
I just realized I forgot my camera. You guys
It's okay, she has her camera. So we're on our way to Universal, so we're going to say goodbye. Okay, bye.
Next up out here on the back lot, major exterior scenes on a very large scale. On June 1st of 2008, 4 acres of this historic back lot were burned in a devastating fire. We knew all along that these sets had to be rebuilt. Our design process began immediately. Gentlemen, ladies, we can rebuild them. Based on decades of experience from some of the top filmmakers in the industry, we assembled an award-winning team to create new and improved back lot locations. A little over 2 years after that tragic event, we are proud to be taking you through the largest set construction project in the history of Hollywood. Most of the sets are finished, and the ones that aren't, they're scheduled to be completed later this year or early next year, making you folks truly part of history. And as you can see, some of these sets here are little more than facades, just false fronts and sides of buildings. You see, we believe the building only what the camera can see. We let your imagination fill in the rest. And also here, sometimes what appears to be brick or stone is sometimes just lightweight materials like fiberglass and foam rubber. And to the right here is Brownstone Street, seen in Coogan's Bluff, starring Clint Eastwood. Change of Habit, starring Elvis. The Sting with Robert Redford, End of Days with Arnold, and Kevin Pollak, Mystery Men with Ben Stiller. Oh, Bruce Almighty starring Jim Carrey. And then Clint Eastwood returned to Brownstone Street and to our Metro sets to direct scenes from Changeling with Angelina Jolie. And now we're making our trip into Courthouse Square, which recently was used as the town of Grandview for the Ghost Whisperer series starring Jennifer Love Hewitt. By the way, prior to the fire, the insides of these facades weren't very usable. However, as you can kind of see, many of them now feature open interior spaces with steel infrastructure. Now, a production complete of interior and exterior jobs on these sets. So this is Courthouse Square. On the left, on the other side of the gazebo, you can see the Grandview City Hall. And you might also remember Courthouse Square as having been the town of Hill Valley in the Back to the Future trilogy, starring Michael J. Fox. For the Back to the Future films, what is now the Grandview City Hall was the courthouse and clock tower in Hill Valley and Benstrom Street. It has been seen as the Big Apple in films like End of Days or Spider-Man 2 starring Tobey Maguire. However, with a few changes in art direction, New York Street can double as just about any metropolitan city in the world. Nearly any time period, past, present, or future. These sets became Old Chicago for the Sting, Chicago again for the Blues Brothers, and they became Los Angeles in the 1920s for Changeling with Angelina Jolie. And Brownstone Street, which we saw earlier, became Vancouver, Canada in the 20s for Changeling. These sets also appeared in the 24 television series, and speaking of Hasbro toys, New York Street here provided the setting for some of the battles between the Autobots and the Decepticons in the original Transformers movie. And our New York Street here also comes complete with its own Broadway-style theater districts. We have these different theater marquees here, done in different architectural styles, and intended to evoke different time periods. We can also have scenes taking place in modern-day New York here to the right. Well, any of these sets could be modern-day New York. They got old buildings and new ones. On the right here, we have a representation of some newer architecture there. We're CC number 2 versus number 218. We got glass and steel construction materials that appear to be being used here for these sets. We're making our way through a little Chinatown and now a really little version of Little Italy. And the creative design of these newly rebuilt sets was supervised by none other than Steven Spielberg. And Mr. Spielberg is one of many legendary directors with whom Universal has collaborated over the years. Another is Academy Award winner Peter Jackson, who directed our 2005 version of King Kong, which itself was based on the 1933 original. And here's Peter Jackson to talk about that 1933 original and it is tram only to visit our transportation department to get a look at some examples. DeLorean and a few customized Fast and the Furious street racers. Filmmakers rely on these picture cars to really supercharge their films. Adding just the right vehicle can make or break a big Hollywood blockbuster, and that's especially true with full throttle movies like The Fast and the Furious.
Ja Rule all one, yeah, yeah.
Combining these picture cars with things like computer-generated imagery and motion control technology allows our filmmakers to bring nearly impossible scenarios to life. we have a chance to go behind the scenes of the third Fast and the Furious, the Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift, to find out about how all these effects I've been talking about come together. First, a little free visualization. Welcome to special effects stage number 55. As you can see, it's all decked out Tokyo style. Our special effects department has been hard at work dressing these sets and prepping our Fast and the Furious picture cars for today's test run.
Clear on the set. Let's see the bullet hit.
Oh my god, it's gonna hit you, Andres.
And go.
Shit.
Go. Go.
Andres is gonna hit you.
Fire. Go. Okay, we're clear for a full run through. All systems checked. This one's for real, guys, so watch out. And action.
Oh, great job saying hello to Carnage and Karma. Great examples of motion control effects. Boys, take a bow. Hey guys, you got any other moves? Well done, boys. How about another hand for Carnage, Karma, and our entire special effects team. Carnage and Karma can rehearse all day. Lab from the Lost World Jurassic Park, and a vehicle used in the dinosaur roundup scene in the same film. So that Fleetwood RV mobile lab appeared to be dangling from a towering cliff in a scene from the Lost World Jurassic Park. It was in fact dangling from a parking structure on a front lot, which was dressed to look like a towering cliff. So that last Jurassic Park film, Jurassic Park 3, was released in the summer of 2001. After over 9 years, we think the dinosaurs are finally extinct. And oh.
Look, Amy.
Well, just a little reminder, extinctions are only temporary here in Hollywood, as not only do rumors continue flying of a new Jurassic Park film roaring to life soon, but we also have this big dinos on Skull Island. Incidentally, you know, how about this crazy weather? I wonder what the weather's like on Skull Island.
It's going to be 7 o'clock, 6 points.
We have one of those miniatures coming up on the left here, a miniature version of the ship, the SS Venture. And in order to see this, we're going to be taking folks down below sea level here, but, excuse me. Uh-oh. Yeah, we got a situation here.
Are you sure, Elena?
You don't want to miss this. You can remember this as being the parting of the Red Sea on the studio tour. Seen here in the Nude Bomb with Don Adams and Andrea Howard.
Then put your feet
This
up.
train is overloaded. Tell them they can walk on water. It's part of the tour.
Whoa, look at
Right now, you're going to go into the water and experience what Moses did. Everybody up. 1, 2, 3.
And if you look here to the left, you'll see that the Venture and, again, this version of Skull Island are actually highly detailed miniatures. Believe it or not, this is as big as Skull Island ever got in the film. Believe it or not. If you look at your monitors, you'll see how the sequence was created. The storm is generated by rain towers with the fog, waves, and other physical effects created by using techniques which have been around since the earliest days of film. On screen, it looks absolutely real, unless, of course, a pesky duck happens to swim through your shot. Disney's Pirates of the Caribbean's Curse of the Black Pearl and Dead Man's Chest. Pirates of the Caribbean at the World's End also filmed on the Universal lot, and these sets have become places like the Czech Republic and France for our television series Chuck, starring Zachary Levi. Speaking of France and all that is French, mademoiselle.
Welcome to Europe. This place can be made to look almost like any country we need.
Well, and that's what I meant when I said the world is just around the corner on the back lot. On a more sinister note, we can hardly mention Little Europe without bringing up the subject of our classic Universal monster movies like Dracula and Frankenstein. Many of these creatures first appeared or look a little small, and then it was supposed to be 25 feet long.
You're the gravity. Ew, look at all that.
Stop the train here for a few moments. We may have overstayed our welcome. It looks like it's time for us to check out of the Bates Motel.
That's really scary.
Out in a scene from the film that is an actual plane which was destroyed specifically for this incredible scene.
Airplane crash site set is a perfect example of a set that is all designed around airplanes.
Isn't this awesome?
Again, to sit down to talk about the war of the world. I thought, what if the 747 goes down right in a big neighborhood? Because it's just something you don't see.
You're doing good. As long as you close your eyes, okay? Now close.
Now, if you'd like, you may stand up and move around for some photos or video, but please remain on the tram.
Robbie, get in. Get in.
All right, everyone, I'm gonna ask you to return to your seats. We're gonna start moving here in a few moments. Like I was saying, the set for war. This it doesn't matter. Just return to your seats, everybody. Okay, one last picture there. Okay, yeah. All right. Yeah, this set for War of the Worlds is one of the largest ever constructed, and yet, despite the use of these realistic life-size sets, the film featured over 500 effect shots, more than Spielberg had ever used before. Up ahead here, we got this log cabin used in the comedy The Great Outdoors with Danny. To be an entire ocean to the camera with the backdrop blocking out the entire San Fernando Valley. Now it's been painted flat dark blue with some reference markers for compositing purposes. When the live-action photography is done for this upcoming film, well, later on in post-production, some CGI guys and girls are going to composite in a new background to replace the blue background. And here's Falls Lake as the entire Caribbean and Jaws the Revenge. Here it is in Jurassic Park 3. 2003's Hulk as the ocean again in Apollo 13. In Van Helsing, starring Schuler Hemsley as the Frankenstein monster. In Bruce Almighty, starring Jim Carrey, and in the Coen Brothers.